For this week's discussion, we were asked to compare Piaget's theory to Vygotsky's theory of cognitive development. So first, let's take a look at Piaget's theory. His theory was based on observations which convinced him that changes in cognitive development progress as a child matured. He felt that you couldn't teach a young child the same things that you could a toddler or an older child simply because they weren't sophisticated enough. Piaget felt that children actively participated in the understanding of the world around them rather than merely being passively influenced by their surroundings. Piaget also thought that cognitive development followed a sequence of 6 sensory motor stages. The first 4, which we discussed in the previous chapter, chapter 4. The last 2 he felt occurred during toddlerhood, which were tertiary circular reactions and mental representations. Vygotsky's theory was often referred to as the sociocultural theory because his view was that cognitive development was both social and cultural. It was social because he felt that children learn through interactions with others and depended on others to teach them. Cognitive development is cultural in his theory because he felt what children needed to know depended on the culture that they lived in. Vygotsky recognized that there are distinct cultural differences in the knowledge children must acquire. For example, depending on where you live, you would need to learn different survival skills. Certain areas you would need to learn to fish or grow your own vegetation for survival, where, and the difference would be someone living in the States or in a more westernized area may need to know more industrial skills for survival. Piaget's theory emphasized that a child's interactions with the physical environment and views cognitive development as the same for all cultures. And that was the difference between the two theories, the main difference. Vygotsky's theory had 2 main ideas. One was the zone of proximal development and the other scaffolding. The zone of proximal development was the difference between the tasks that children are able to perform on their own and those that they needed guidance with. Vygotsky felt that children learned best when instruction was provided within the zone of proximal development, meaning that they needed assistance at first and then they would gradually be able to perform the task on their own. And scaffolding was the degree of assistance that children needed in the zone of proximal development, that they should gradually decrease and become more competent at whatever task they're learning or trying to perform. In the beginning, they would require a great deal of involvement and then less as time went on. Scaffolding in the zone of proximal development covered the social aspect of Vygotsky's theory, since he felt that learning was a social process and was better done by interacting with others. I find both Piaget's and Vygotsky's theories to be interesting and accurate independently, but I think that there are areas that cross over into both theories. And I strongly feel that cognitive development is both social and cultural. Actually, I don't see how you could develop socially without the involvement of our cultural surroundings. But these two are not universal, and we are different because of our culture and our social surroundings.